Hi, this is Kelly Schols back on Never By the Book podcast with Oly. Thanks for coming back, Oly.
Oly Olsen, remember she said?
Oly Olsen. Last episode we were talking about a lot of things, but we were talking about what you dealt with your sickness and trying to figure out, how to get over that. So
What a puzzle.
it was a puzzle.
Yeah.
I remember some conversations with you, and then had some conversations with Brad, and we were worried about you.
Brad was, I got to be honest with you, Brad was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Because by this time, both Brad and Chris, what amazing friends I have there. But Brad especially, he took a lot on.
Yeah.
We had a lot of conversations. Of course, by now, Brad's been my partner. Now it's just him and me, 50-50. Here we go, take on the world. He does the office, I'm the operations.
Right.
We are gonna go.
You're gonna conquer.
We're gonna crush it. Okay,
Yeah.
we are gonna crush it. And
you guys were crushing it.
we were. We
you
actually were.
Till you got sick.
And then I started getting sick, and I just a lot, and just to kind of say, a lot of things just started happening. I noticed like when I would stand,
Right.
My feet would start to burn, and
Right.
then it would, slowly move up my legs. One time I had to go to a job. I thought I was having a heart attack, and I remember it was in the morning. It seemed like it was what happened in the morning because the guys would all come filter in, and they'd be like, and I'd be like, okay, you're going here, you're doing, it's really a very highly active, thing, or we're fixing problems and, clearing the desk off. Okay, what do you got? And Henry needed to go to this job up in Bayview, and he was actually right by my house. And he says, they wanted me to come look at it and just make sure that the layout was correct and all this kind of stuff. I said, fine. So we take off, and I'm like, he's been waiting, and I just tell the guys, hey, you're gonna have to go talk to somebody else because I've already scheduled this and I have to go. And I drive up the hill, and I'm getting on the freeway, and my arm goes numb.
Oh no.
And then I just got this pain, and my chest is tight. And I'm like, what in the hell? There is no way.
Right.
There's no way I'm having a heart attack. There's no way I'm having a heart attack. And it is just like, by the time I get over the Skagit Bridge, I'm seriously I'm scared. I'm scared. I call Henry. I said, Henry, I think I'm having a heart attack. I go, I ain't gonna make it to the shop. I go, but I'm gonna make it somewhere where they can probably help me. And so he's like, yeah, all right. So he didn't know what to do. He throws dispatch. Now I'm worried about that. And so my doctor's in the Burlington Family Practice. So I zoom off and I just go to the doctor's office, and I go, walking in. Of course, it's a door and then another door and then the waiting. They have the COVID thing, whatever, and all this stuff. She says, she goes, you have an appointment today? I said, no. I go, but I think I'm having a heart attack. I'm a patient here, and I go, I need help. She goes, well, you don't have an appointment? And I said, I go, no. I think I'm having a heart attack. She goes, well, you're gonna have to go to the hospital. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I am having a heart attack. She's like, oh, what the hell? Whatever. So she goes, then all the nurses come running in, and they're calling the ambulance and all this stuff and da-da-da. And then, of course, I'm waiting for the ambulance to come, and I'm sitting right next to the gal that I just,
Right.
And I just looked at her. I said, I am sorry I was shitty to you. I go, I was scared that I was having a heart attack. Right. And she's like, oh, that's fine. So we sit there and we just talk for a couple minutes, and then the ambulance people come and they load me up and they run all these EK. Nothing's wrong with me. Not a damn thing. Because they can check the blood and there's toxins. I don't know. If something happens. I'm not Ed.
Right.
that I think I had 1 or 2 more episodes where I also thought I was having a heart attack. Went to the emergency room, all that. You know, I can remember just one day I'm driving to work, and all of a sudden I just hear this bong, and then like my fucking ears are just like ringing. I'm like, and it hasn't gone away.
Wow.
And so I just this
this
stuff,
is after you'd been to the
this is
everybody.
It's getting worse. I mean, I'm going to the you know, and then I remember the last appointment I had. It was in Everett. It was down at it was the rheumatologist, and he was saying, you know, I've been at it for a year now, and I mean, I am absolutely in the most miserable pain. My body.
I remember your track and everything you're doing.
Oh yeah, I'm journaling. My body is absolutely on fire, and I go to him, and the only thing he says is, "Well, we can just put you on gabapentin and see how it goes." I said, "Well, we don't even have a diagnosis." And he's like, "Yeah, I know, but I don't have anything, you know, else." And I remember going out to my truck, and I cried. And you and Chris and Brad were going to the condo.
Right.
And I remember texting you the whole, everything, that big old thing of notes. And I just felt overwhelming hopelessness. I mean, I was just broken. And by the time I got back to my house, I, you know, got a hold of a function medicine guy, and we just kept doing whatever we could. I mean, it was really over, you know, a year and a half experience. And then that's when I kind of started noticing that when I wasn't at work and I didn't have stress, that I started feeling better. When I wasn't at work. And then when I get to work, and all of a sudden I would just like, it would like turn on. And I just could not believe it was stress or anxiety. I mean, dude, there's no way.
No way, was there?
Not me. I am very good at handling stress and multitasking and all, you know, very proud of how strong I am.
Stress is a weird thing, isn't it?
I got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
And I still get reminders, you know, daily that what I am capable of doing, you know, because I still have symptoms. They're just not as exacerbated. And I just, you know, I cannot afford to hold on to anger,
stress,
resentment.
Right.
I have to be very guarded against, you know, my reactions. And it's just a whole new, I mean, and it's probably good, you know.
Well, through all that, you guys sell the business.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
that was good. We sold the business, and that was a huge, huge relief. That helped. There was a lot of other things. I mean, I started going to church again, and not just going to church. So, I mean, I started praying. And I started therapy again. You know, again during that process. Belly breathing, deep belly breathing, and breathing through my nose was another
like
good one.
Like a form of meditation.
And exercise. Getting back doing exercise. I quit. I rarely drink hard alcohol.
Right.
I mean, I'll have a beer or two, but I do not hardly ever drink hard alcohol. I mean, if somebody comes over and they're having a whiskey, you know, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll have one. That's it. I don't do. I don't do that very much. So that's a big thing. You know, but I went through all the stuff before. I went like, I'm gluten free and whatever, and I mean, there's just things that are just stressors that you just have to, I mean, deal with. I mean, look, I'm not going to stop eating chocolate.
Right.
Okay. That ain't happening ever.
Ever.
Okay.
We know that.
you can't eliminate all the stressors. I drove here. What are you gonna not watch the Seahawks anymore?
Don't get around Oly when he's hangry.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you gotta. There's
gonna be stresses, but if you can control them more and control your emotions and your reactions, that's when Heather passed away. I went to the cardiologist a couple months afterwards for a follow-up for myself and to follow up on her death. Mm-hmm. And he looked at me and he says, "I'm sorry, I can't give you a diagnosis." Right. And I said, "You don't need to." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "I think she died of stress and anxiety."
I believe that.
And he goes, "Well, her heart didn't show any signs of it." I go, "You didn't live with her, I did."
Yeah.
And I knew what kind of stress. She put so much stress and anxiety on herself to be the person that she thought she should be for everybody else, that nobody could live with that. Yeah. And it literally killed her.
Right.
And I think you were going down that path until you finally said enough's enough.
Right. Yeah, I think the body says no.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a book and there's a whole system of was it Gab or whatever his name? But that is if you don't, you have to at some point believe that emotional things that are going on inside you can come out physically, can affect physically. Because if you didn't, then every time you got your feelings hurt, you cry, whatever. That's a physical, response. And I just believe that now more than ever, and I think it's just that, like we talked about before, between stimulus and response, that space that you have the choice to choose, I mean, I on my work every day I go to work. I mean, I pray.
Right.
Usually I do my prayers on the way to work. And then when I go down the hill and I see especially if the cross is lit up on the hill, I usually, then I do my, just my, Lord's Prayer, that type of thing. And then I always follow it up with probably just these reinforcement statements, today I choose to be peaceful and calm. Today I choose not to let people get to me. Today I choose to,
and be grateful.
Be a good person. Lord, help me find ways to, help someone. And so I just do those all the way, and that really, centers me. And that's what I have. I mean, and the reality of it is I have to do those kind of things to be normal and not have pain. I mean, whatever happened. And I've come to terms also with the fact that I am not getting a diagnosis.
Right.
I've come to terms with that long ago, but I know what makes me feel better.
Well, but see, if you would have followed the doctors and what they wanted to do, they would have put you on drugs.
Oh, yeah.
And instead, you took responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
And you take responsibility every day for yourself.
Yeah.
Which is hard for people to do.
Yeah.
But look at where you've come.
Right. No, I didn't want to go that road without, just to numb that. And then, I just don't know if that's a long-term solution.
Right.
You know what it is? It really comes down to, you could troubleshoot, diagnose a water heater or furnace or whatever, and you could throw a part at it and may or may not fix the problem. Why did that happen? Why did that problem happen in the first place? I think that's
what's
really
the ultimate solution.
Yeah, and because there's really more to uncover a lot of times, and I think that's the same thing with people. There's what caused that, and I'd like to say I eat a lot cleaner and healthier now, but I don't eat perfect. I mean, I love snack treats and candy, and chocolate, so, and I eat French fries, so. But for the most part,
the most part,
there's, even though I say I've come to terms with it, that I won't have a diagnosis, it's not that I'm still not open. Mm-hmm. So I'm here in my life. I'm doing my thing. I am monitoring how I feel and how I need to take care and manage myself. Mm-hmm. And then if one day I'm watching YouTube, like the doctor's pharmacy or something like that, because I watch all these medical.
Right.
All my YouTube algorithms are all this
the
medical shit.
stuff.
You know, how to reset your vagus nerve. You know, and so if I see something like that, it doesn't mean that I probably won't freaking try it.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, magnesium. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take more magnesium. Damn it. I'm gonna get it. All right, Amazon, the 50-pack. Okay, sure. It'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, and then I'm on that. You know, or turmeric with pepper.
Yeah, but you can control it. You know,
yeah,
for the most part.
But I think that's what it is. Is like I'm not like totally closed off that someday I might figure out what it is. But for the most part, I know what I have to do to fix it. So even if I had a diagnosis and they said, because I had flag markers for lupus, you know, the autoimmune disease. And there was a couple of spots, this ANA, antibodies or RNA, whatever, all this ribonuclear shit says, oh, you could be having lupus, whatever. Well, my symptoms aren't like lupus. And it's like, well, what's the cure for that? Because the cure, if I had it, the cure is going to be, well, I'm going to try to eat better.
Right.
I'm going to, you know, try to get as much sleep as I can. I'm not going to apologize for it, dude. I'm going to try for 8 every night. And I'm going to, you know, go to church. And I'm going to just not lose my cool. I'm always going to check myself. And I'm going to pray. And I'm going to breathe. I'm going to breathe through my tummy and my nose. And that's still the cure for it.
Right.
Right.
Well, and now you sold the business.
Yep.
But you're still.
I worked there.
You worked there.
Oh, love it. Treat me like gold.
So what are you doing there now? You told Rebecca and I you were talking last week, and you were telling us about what you're doing and how you're really enjoying it.
Oh, I was the coaching.
The coaching, the giving back.
I love it. Yeah.
And so now, I mean, you don't have to work.
Nope. No, I don't.
I mean, you've been through a lot. You've got to a point, you sold the business. You don't have to work. But knowing you, knowing where you came from, knowing the apple did not fall off the tree, you were going to work.
Yeah.
So tell us about what you're doing now.
I've been kind of doing more of a kind of coaching thing. It's funny we're talking because this one guy I was coaching, I was just so happy with the progress that he had made. He really had, you know, I was giving him homework and he was doing it, and we were setting goals. We were talking about, you know, setting, you know, daily, weekly goals for revenue numbers. But when I first got to him, the first thing I knew we had to do right away was work on his attitude. Right. He's a blame others. Oh, he's a blame others. Yeah, yep. He's a victim, and we worked on that, and I felt like we kind of were gaining some traction, and I mean, he's, you know, sending me text messages. Hey, I appreciate all the help. Thank you. It's helping me. Even one of the texts was it's helping me in my home life. You know, and I was like, man, I'm showing Shelly. I'm like, look at this, and I'm just jacked, and then. He just quit, like today, Friday. I guess he just quit. He was something set him off, and I wish, you know, he's a great guy, and I wish him the best.
Have you talked to him?
I did. I talked to him. Well, when I heard, I sent him a text message Saturday, just saying, hey, you know, I heard about what happened. Really sorry to hear that, you know, but you know, obviously you got to be happy. With whatever you do, and you know, I'm really proud of you know, and I was really proud of what we'd accomplished together, and you know, take care, you know, and he didn't reply, and then I saw him this morning, and I was like, hey, did you get my text message? He's like, yeah, I was just wanted to disconnect for the weekend, and I'm like, that's fine, and so we had a talk, and you know, his reasons are sound in his mind, and he's moved off. I don't necessarily understand, but he's a good person. Obviously, I wish him the best. But it was kind of like, man, this was my first little project here. Now you know, and so but there are some other guys that
Yeah.
I've been working with a little bit, and I've been kind of doing like the ride-alongs.
Right.
Like tomorrow, I think I have 4 calls.
Okay.
That I'm going with a guy, and he shows a lot of promise.
Yeah.
He wants it. I mean, that's really the first. I mean, even with this other guy, the first question I ask him
Right.
is, "How hard do you want to be coached?"
Right.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10,
Yeah.
how hard do you want me
Right.
to coach you? And, guy said a 10.
Right.
And I told him, I said, well, you better be prepared because
Yeah.
I'm going to say some mean shit to you. Okay. And you're going to have to take it.
But you're going to say it with love.
There's no part of me that's not coming from love.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, here we go, and that wasn't the reason why. Actually, it happened. There was some other situation that set him off with. But this, new guy, same way. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Coach me hard. I want to be coached hard. And those are the type of people that I want to spend time with. And, no, I don't, clock in every minute of the day or whatever. I mean, I clock in when we're rolling, but if they call me, they can call me at home and personal, whatever. I mean, gone out and, had beers with them and let's just tell me about your family. Tell me about your wife. Tell me about what it's like living in this town or whatever and that sort of thing. So, that is really my passion.
Okay.
I love to do
giving
that.
back, helping people, coaching them.
Yeah, and I think that I'm just happy to be doing it. It's very fulfilling.
Good.
Yeah.
So what's the future hold for Oly?
I don't know. I'm just counting down I don't know. Shelly and I have talked about moving to Eastern Washington, but she's working for the school district and stuff, and so when she's ready to retire, and I honestly that's kind of our insurance too. Our health insurance is through her, so I don't know. I love hiking and going out, and we were snowshoeing last year over there and just enjoying ourselves and maybe some travel. I've never been to Hawaii.
Okay.
Never been to Hawaii. Motorhome type stuff, just like everybody else, I guess. I can't think.
And probably more coaching
Just
and
take
helping other people.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. If I could do that at even if at a small capacity, and I do kind of like to just work with the one person where we can just really sit down and I can literally look at every call they did and look at the audit trail on our software, and I could see what they did, and then I can just sit there and kind of give them pointers.
And not just that. I mean, you've been through a lot, Oly. You know, from where you've come, the stuff you've been through. Starting over financially, in the middle of your life, and now again, you're financially free and stuff. I mean, you got a lot of wisdom there, and that's something that your dad shared with me and helped me along the road was his wisdom.
Hey, being you and Brett, I mean, all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, we were, around each other, and we talked about all that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the future holds. I mean, this is my very first podcast, by the way.
Well,
it might be,
you never know. You might become a podcast
Joe
star.
Rogan might call me up next
might.
week after seeing this.
He might.
I might have a little, little side gig going on. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we should just become a duo where you and I interview people.
There we go.
So that would be next. But no, I'm a big fan of podcasts and big fan of learning. I know whatever the future is, I do want to continue to learn and grow and be just a better human being, and leave the world a better place than I found it. I don't know that I have any like something that I want to achieve. I think the driver inside of me, when I start setting goals and trying to achieve, the driver inside of me drives me right into a painful place.
Right.
and where I just, so I hate to always leave things open-ended,
right.
but that's kind of probably where I'm at.
I think you just said it.
Yeah.
I think you just said it. Thank you for being on. I appreciate it.
Hey, bring it in.
Love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
That's it.
That's it. That's a wrap. Did I talk too long?
No.